Season 45, War number 4, and we're up against Sålty. And this time my team will be Mantis, Kate Bishop and Valkyrie. I will be taking Path 5 in Section 1, Path 5 in Section 2, a Werewolf, a Zemo, a Mysterio and Hulk mini-bosses, as well as that Photon boss with Mantis. This is the first time I'm taking Mantis into war, and I was feeling pretty excited as well as very nervous about it. But I'm sure it'll be just fine. And now up first here we have a Kindred on the event flow knockdown and right back at it nodes, and I am taking this fight with Kate Bishop. I will be using an advanced power boost to get the fight going faster as I usually do, but like I've said before, it is not necessary. However, for this fight, since it does have the right back at it node, it is safer to just get in and get out as fast as possible before Kindred really has time to ramp up too much. The right back at it node makes the opponent debuff immune when they are knocked down, and that means you can rely on the decay tactic, reducing the potency of the incoming degeneration passes. And luckily in this fight I just managed to lock out Kindred below 30 infestation charges, so once he entered that root phase he did not start inflicting the degenerations. Otherwise, since I mistimed my specials there, I would have been eating all of the degen damage without any protection against it, and it would have cost quite a few potions, which, to be honest, would have sucked. Now, this next fight right here is a Darkhawk on the event flow knockdown and heavy hitter nodes, and I am taking this fight with Kate Bishop. Once again, the advanced power boost allows me to start the fight off with that cold snap on early, just to get the damage rolling, and that makes the fight a lot faster. The main problem here is Darkhawk's auto block and the fact that it can trigger the parry mastery. And there, my evade counterattack actually got parried, and since it does count as a contact attack, I did get stunned as a result, and I ate a hit or two. Again, not really an end of the world, but it was annoying, since I now do have to use at least a potion before my next fight. Now, just to note that against Darkhawk, while the shield mode is active, hitting into his block will deal damage to you, but the decay tactic does allow you to bypass that, making decay champions, well, easier to use against him. Now, the next fight here is a Killmonger on the event flow intercept node, and I am taking this fight with Kate Bishop. Once again, advanced power boost to get that cold snap on early, and I did manage to land an intercept before throwing it as well, to allow it to benefit from that Fury passive. Now at this point, my main goal is to just make sure that I basically just don't eat combos or eat any special attacks. I will intercept here with the evade counterattack to remove the protection, but even with it up, the cold snap is dealing some nice damage. Now against Killmonger you also should try to manage his power bar pretty well to try to avoid most of the reverberation damage, but on the other hand, the decay tactic does allow you to shut down some of it, and that was a 7-star Killmonger, meaning the sig level on it was likely pretty low. And then next up we have an America Chavez here on the event flow intercept and mighty charge nodes, and I am taking this fight with Kate Bishop as well. Now this fight is slightly more tricky to do, since you very likely will not be able to keep the slow debuff up all too well. And without the slow, if you dex Chavez's special 1 and try to punish it, you run the risk of actually getting that unstoppable trigger. So I keep a very close eye on it. If mighty charge does remove the slow debuff, I simply just parry the special instead. And another way to lose your slow is by getting that protection back on the opponent. Whenever that happens, they purify all debuffs on themselves, and right there you saw me actually parry the second hit of her special 1, as I was aware that the protection was just about to come back, which could have resulted in me getting clapped by the unstoppable. Now, even if that does happen, Chavez by herself doesn't really have enough damage to take you down unless she has a special 2 ready to nuke you down with, so it would not have been the end of the world, though it would have still cost some potions, which once again is annoying. Now already on to the next fight, we have a Werewolf by night on the Even Flow knockdown and right back at it mini-boss, and in this fight I clearly do not remember how to punish the special 1 of this guy. I just started spamming decks hoping I could outrange it, which I didn't due to Kate Bishop's very short dashback, and I did the same mistake twice. At this point I am getting a little bit worried since my health is getting closer to 50%, but with Kate Bishop's cold snaps on the opponent, the fight shouldn't last too much longer. Now, I definitely should have done a few duels beforehand to remind myself what the animation actually looked like, and then practiced the proper decks, because now I am paying the price in the form of potions, which I will have to buy with units, as I do not want to run out of my loyalty potions or hit the potion limit for this war. That would not be good. But before I have to spread my wallet open, here we have a Zemo on the Hazard Shift Incinerate and Poison node along with stun immunity, and I am taking this fight with Valkyrie. And this fight is quite simple, since all you need to do is just hit the opponent's block. However, due to the recent updates, well, slight changes to the opponent's AI, the AI manipulation tactics that I usually use with Valkyrie do not all work the same way. For example, the non-contact combo inversion simply isn't safe currently, and then you will see later in this fight after my special 2, the follow-up that I usually do by immediately throwing the light attack after the special 2 doesn't really work the same way either. I throw the light, but instead of the opponent getting locked by their AI breaking, they instead started walking towards me and were still able to react to my movements, and that resulted in me getting intercepted instead. And that was quite the scare, to be honest, and it is still my fault, since I should have done a couple duels with Valkyrie beforehand to make sure all of her other tricks work, since I already knew at this point that the non-contact combo inversion was not working. But even then, simply just getting screwed by the AI changing just like that, it is very unfortunate and very annoying, and once again this will cost me potions, since this is not my last Valkyrie fight of this war. It is very annoying, and I really hope that the AI gets fixed, or rather changed back to the way it was, because if it doesn't, the value of Valkyrie will not be nearly as high as it was. She will still be great, but because she isn't as reliable anymore, I can't say she is at the top of the skill champ list, or at this time at least. Then, next up we have a Mysterio here on the power efficiency and missing in action miniboss node, and I will be taking this fight with Kate Bishop. Now this Mysterio should be pretty simple, just like a normal Mysterio boss would be, for example. You just use Kate Bishop with the cold snap arrows, you get the cold snaps up, and then you bait and punish his special 1 with your heavy attack to keep the slow debuff up constantly. So long as you simply do that, the damage reflect on the special 1 won't do anything thanks to decay, and since you are punishing the special with a heavy attack, you are knocking down the opponent, keeping the slow up, so the unstoppable will never be an issue either. That said, this strat only works if you actually play properly and successfully avoid the special 1. If you get clipped by it, you can punish it, and then the slow has a very good chance of falling off before you can get another one in. So just be mindful of that. Now naturally, I still had to screw up in this fight somehow, and I missed my very first perfect release on my special 1, so my damage output was, well, pretty horrible to start with. I let the cold snap fall off on purpose, so that I could get 2 proper ones rolling, since sometimes with Kate Bishop special ones you will not be able to replace the weaker cold snap with a perfect release cold snap, for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure what causes it, but it can happen, so the only 2 ways to really avoid it is, or rather fix it if it does happen, is to let the cold snaps fall off completely and then throw new special ones, or go to your special 2 and nail the perfect release on that. Then we have the final Valkyrie fight of this war, a Hulk on the Polka Dot Power and Stunning Reflection miniboss node, and now along with Brute Force. And essentially the game plan is to just hit the opponent until they drop, and that's about it. Valkyrie's pierce effects allow her to bypass the unstoppable effects, so this Hulk being a tactic defender will not be a problem at all. If the unstoppable does trigger, which it will at times in the fight, I have nothing to worry about. I can just ignore it and keep hitting him. Now I did also go for the Bulwark buffs here to make me immune to stun debuffs, just in case I landed a parry by accident here on the Stunning Reflection miniboss node, so that I wouldn't get stunned and completely destroyed. And this season I have already seen people die to this fight by accidentally parrying and then eating Hulk's special 2 to the face, which is a fate that I would like to avoid. So stun immunity it is. Now this fight is not fast by any means, since I quite likely won't be able to get to my special 2. The only way for me to gain power is by hitting the opponent's block here, and due to the addition of Brute Force, I can't exactly do that for the whole fight. Now I still try to weave in some blocked hits here and there to get that instant bleed damage going, as well as to gain some power, so I could at least use a special one at some point to deal some extra damage. Now a minute and a half into the fight, and it is nearing its end. I have taken some damage due to blocked hits as well as a little bit of brute force, but that's fine. So long as I don't need a combo at this point, I should be able to finish the fight without any bigger problems. And since this is the last Valkyrie fight, I don't need to worry about healing, so even at 1% health left, as long as I didn't die, I would have been perfectly fine with it. And now then, we have the final fight of this war, a Photon boss that I will be taking with my 7-star rank 2 Mantis. And this is a fight that I have not taken before. Now the matchup itself I have tried in BGs, but not in Alliance War. And while I did see some videos of people taking this fight, I was pretty sure I knew what I was supposed to do, but turns out I did not. First off, I used the wrong skill boost here. I went with a 200% skill power back boost instead of 150, and that means that my special 2 will give me another special 2. Normally, with power back nuke champions that would be a good thing, but since Mantis needs to ramp up between special 2s, otherwise the damage will be quite weak, this is too much power and it does make this fight trickier to finish. Now, of course, I also have to just mess up some dexes here as well, simply because I simply can't make just a single mistake in a fight now, can I? Now, I am doing my best to trying to ramp up just a little bit before I had to throw that special 2, but due to blocking a few too many hits, I just had to throw it to get rid of my power before going to a special 3. Now at this point, everything should be fine. I go for a Intimidate debuff on the opponent, and now just pound into her block, trying to ramp up to 20, mix the motions, charge my heavy attack, and chain it into a special 2, but very likely due to the opponent running the Iniquity Mastery, the damage was not enough, and now she's at an unblockable special 2, and she decided to throw it. Now, the invulnerability boost did save me, but even with that, had the full special 2, or at least one more hit of it, crit, I would have been dead right then and there. So I got very lucky. Now next time I will be using the correct boosts, if there is a next time, and then hopefully not making as many mistakes to take this fight down properly, as that is something I would like to be able to do. That said, I did still manage to solo it, which was exactly what we needed. The result of this war is pretty surprising, to be completely honest. We did end up winning 1-0. We pulled a full alliance donut for this war, we didn't die a single time, and that got us the win against Sålty, which is a very strong war alliance. Now, as you saw there, that Photon boss, that is how close we were to losing. Just a single crit more on that special 2, and that would have been it. We would have lost on time due to tying on deaths, and that would have been on me and me alone. So I gotta say, that was pure luck that I managed to take that one there.